Galimera. Good morning. How are we today? Well, after an absolutely humongous night last night with rain, heavy thunderstorm last night with some very spectacular thunder and lightning. Can I just say thank you to Amanda Gregory? She sent me a little video clip of getting struck by lightning last night in her house. And I will at some point try and I'll tell you what I might do. I might actually put that in my show this afternoon so people can see the video of that. Again, it's a beautiful morning this morning, just a bit of cloud up in the sky, nothing too bad, nice clear blue skies, a reflective morning this morning. I didn't realise that yesterday was the anniversary of the passing of Dionysos, the famous Greek poet who was born here on Zakynthos. He passed away in Corfu, but his lyrics, the Ode to Liberty, ended up becoming the words for the Greek national anthem. Well, they celebrating his anniversary yesterday of his passing, which was interesting to say the least. Anyway, as you can see, looking towards Laguna and also Kalamaki, beautiful sunshiny day, so it looks like it's going to be a good day. A little bit of a cloud up in there, but I think those are going to get burned off. The sun is out, nice and bright. Looking towards Sillavi as well, it's also again nice clear blue skies with a little bit of cloud and a little bit of a wind, but it's not cold, that is for sure. So there's a little bit of poignancy I've got to reflect on before I start with all the news. Okay, yesterday was an interesting day. One of the reasons why I've been a bit late on air this morning is we had to take one of the cats to the vets this morning to be looked at. He's all right, old Nipper, he's okay. Also, I've been talking to some people in the UK as well, which I'll talk about in just a short while. First of all, can I say yesterday, the death of the 8-year-old lad here on the island has caused a lot of heartbreak and upset with people. I went yesterday down into town and I found the cafe where they were collecting money. And can I say that the collection, everything has been above board. The people were lovely. Anybody who put money in, their name was taken, the amount that they gave was taken. So no impropriety with money. According to the local press at the moment, they raised the funds required, obviously, to repatriate the little lad, Camberi, that was his name, back to Albania. It's going to be a difficult process, obviously, because of COVID, all the restrictions and problems. There was rumours going around that the child was going to be buried here on the island because of problems with family being able to get back into Albania. However, I've not been able to find anything that says that in any of the local press, and the people I spoke to yesterday were 100% adamant that the boy would return to Albania. You've got one thing that did come out yesterday was that the little lad was virtually killed outside his own house, and I should think the mother will not want to stay in the house close to where the child passed. And I know from past experience of families being in that situation where they couldn't stay where they'd lost the child and they had to get away from that area because it was a reminder every time they walked past. So at the moment, I'll keep my ears to the ground. I've also got to say, a quick hello to Sharon and Kev Baxter. Kev is now back in the UK. For people who don't know, and I certainly didn't know this until yesterday, Sharon had lost her father in December, her stepfather in December, and had to go back to the UK. Kev's been over here on his own, looking after the chickens and his animals and stuff like that, but he's managed to get back to the UK. They lost their son, called Matthew, in the Royal Engineers. We had a good chat this morning. And just to let you know, if you have to get back, it is possible. He said he filled out all the forms required. He managed to get a flight out. He was obviously COVID tested and everything else. He also has done quarantine in the UK, he said, but he was allowed out during the quarantine phase. So now he's back in the UK with Sharon, and obviously now getting ready for Matthew's funeral. He just wants to say thank you to all those people here. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, but he says thank you to everybody for the support, the love, and as soon as him and Sharon can get back, they will be back here, and they again thank everybody for their help, as does the family for the little 8-year-old boy. So yeah, it's been a rocky few days here on Zakynthos, to be quite honest. But anyway, let's get back to the news of the last 24 hours, what's been going on here on the island. Anyway, COVID infections in the last 24 hours, I'm afraid they're actually up. We had 1,526 new infections recorded yesterday. That was up from 638 on the day before. That brings the grand total now to 166,067, of which 52.1% of those are male. All right. There's also been 9 cases identified at checks into the country as well. That is also up on the last score that I gave you, which was 4. As for Zakynthos at the moment, the national stats are actually saying 3. However, at the moment, there's been 2 new cases of coronavirus here on Zakynthos. The first one yesterday afternoon was a computer science teacher. She was diagnosed positive for coronavirus. She underwent molecular testing at the Zakynthos hospital. The young teacher had mild symptoms. Now she's going to stay in home quarantine for 14 days. But there were concerns. This particular teacher teaches in many of the primary schools around the island because her speciality is that she's a computer science teacher. So she basically does hours in different primary schools across the island. Anyway, it seems now it was decided yesterday afternoon that the 4th primary school of Zakynthos will be closed for a week. This is after this case with the teacher becoming infected. This Pacific school has already had 3 other cases, so there's not a knee-jerk reaction from their point of view. And their logic of those in charge of the school said that it's best that we close this for the time being for at least a week. Also, the 4th elementary school, that is going to remain closed for a week. And the parents were being informed of that last night as that news was going out. We've also had another case yesterday. This was a 24-year-old male. He also went to the hospital suffering from mild symptoms, underwent a COVID-19 test, was diagnosed positive for the virus, and he's also gone home to 14 days home quarantine. Anyway, this now at the moment, and I'm glad our figures actually tally. This is with the local press and with mine. Since the beginning of the year, Zakynthos has had 72 positive cases. And when we mean positive cases, we don't mean positive tests, but positive cases of people testing positive, having the symptoms, whether they're mild, severe, or whatever. And we've had basically just this month alone of February, and we're into February the 10th, we've had 36 cases again of people with the virus. And also, interestingly, at the moment, a lot of those cases are children at school and young people, which again wasn't the norm earlier on with the virus. So obviously the virus is changing and is now being a problem for younger people. Anyway, as for deaths in Greece, deaths are down at the moment. Last time I reported to you, we had 25 deaths. This at the moment, we had 20 deaths reported yesterday. Anyway, 95.4% of those had underlying health conditions or were over the age of 70. And just to put that in context, in 2019, here in Greece, the average daily death toll would have been in the region of 329 deaths a day throughout the year in Greece for 2019. So that puts it into perspective as to how many deaths we have in comparison to what would be a normal death rate. Anyway, as for critical cases are up across ICUs across the country, but not by much. I reported to you the other day we had 276. At the moment, we have 277. Anyway, if you're curious about what the breakdown is, it's 200 male are in ICUs and 77 females are in ICUs as well, okay? But at the moment, the average age of those people is normally about 68 years of age, and 86.5 of those have underlying health conditions or are over the age of 70. Right, now, everybody was waiting for these announcement yesterday evening, and I was one of those who was waiting for the Prime Minister to make an announcement as to what is going to be happening at the moment in areas like Attica and increased measures that are going to be brought in. The Greek Prime Minister said yesterday evening that from this coming Thursday until the 28th of February, the area of Attica, for those people who don't know what Attica is the Athens area and the area surrounding Athens. They're going to go into a hard lockdown, all right? And this is going to mean increased restrictive measures. Now, the measures include, obviously, the closure of all forms of retail shops, with the exception of supermarkets and other food stores. Pharmacies are also going to be allowed to stay open, and all levels of education will be remotely. So basically, it's going to be online learning, whether you're at primary school, kindergarten, or university, or a high school. So all the schools are going to be shut as well. Now, restaurants and cafes will only be allowed to offer delivery services. That's quite what's been going on. However, specific details of the new measures, they're going to be confirmed later on today. So we're going to see what extra things he's going to put in place. Not sure that's going to affect travel here on and off the shall we say travel in and out of the country at the moment, because obviously you pass through Athens to get to the airport, and we will wait and see what happens there. Anyway, interestingly, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has presented the new inhaled anti-COVID-19 drug. Now, this is something that the Israelis have really been pushing at the moment, and it's been classed as a new form of miracle drug. Instead of having to have an injection, you basically just sniff it, and it basically works. Okay. Now, the two leaders, Mitsotakis and Netanyahu, they have agreed Greek hospitals will participate in the next phase of clinical trials for what is called the XOC24 inhaled vaccine. So it's going to be interesting to see. Shall we say, Israel has been very much stockpiling drugs and anti-COVID vaccine, and has been controversially dishing it out to their friends. Looks like Greece is now being classed as a friend. The only thing about this is that information is being exchanged in trials to drug companies, and that has come in line for a bit of controversial comment. But at the moment, we shall wait and see how that plays out. But we're obviously in Israel's good books, because we're now being offered this other alternative vaccine, which is on the way. Now, also, it seems that there's arrival of first supplies of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine into Greece. Citizens like myself, who are now 60 years of age, up until the age of 64, we can apply for appointments from today, actually, for vaccines, and that will then start on Monday where basically February the 15th, you can then go and get your injection once it arrives here on the island. At the moment, I've not had any feedback as to how vaccinations have been going. We were quite busy with vaccinations for the over 80s at the time, but that seems to have gone quiet now. And we did have a delivery last week, and the talk was that was going towards health and medical people at the moment. So at the moment, what I've just said is happening across Greece. Whether it happens here in Zakynthos at the moment, it will all depend on supply, okay, which we are obviously going to still be waiting for. So, also as well, a little bit of good news as well. The Zakynthos MP announced yesterday in the local press and on his local social media the arrival of 14 new kidney dialysis machines here to the Zakynthos hospital. Anyway, the MP, Mr. Akipas, said in his social media, another pre-election commitment of mine is fulfilled with the completion of the tender and the signing of the relevant contract for the replacement of the obsolete material and technical equipment of the artificial kidney unit of the General Hospital of Zakynthos with new state-of-the-art equipment. This will significantly upgrade the quality of services provided to patients undergoing dialysis. It is noted that 3 of these machines that we operate with new modern methods, while 11 of them will be the old style of dialysis machine. Anyway, we are not taking a step back, he says, from everything we promised the Zakynthos Society. Again, political message is in there. Yep, good job. You've got the machines in. Kidney dialysis has been a problem here on the island, and I'm pleased that he's doing that. It's just when they start dressing it up in political language of, look what a great job we're doing, we're honouring our commitments, you know, yeah, you've got the machines, great. We don't need the political speech to go with it as well. So good on you for doing that, but just keep the political rhetoric down. I don't think people want to hear it at the moment. All right. The Greek health minister has confirmed today his belief on much stricter lockdown measures for Athens and the wider Attica region may be needed to stem the surge of infections and hospital admissions. Anyway, that is obviously, we're waiting for more information on that. That will probably come in throughout the day as well. Interestingly, after speaking with Chris this morning, the UK is imposing mandatory COVID-19 tests on everyone entering the country on day 2 and day 8 after they arrive during their enforced 10-day quarantine. So I don't know how that is going to affect Chris. Now, the new measure is in addition to the rule that travellers must present proof of negative testing that was administered no more than 72 hours before their arrival, or unfortunately they're going to face a fine of £500. And I know for anybody who's trying to get back through extreme circumstances like Chris, trying to get back for the funeral for his son, this is added pressure that I would think just makes going back even more difficult than what it already is. Now, I do have some good and finally news, and this is also interesting as well. EasyJet scheduled new flights from London Luton Airport to Zakynthos for summer 2021, and these flights have been amended. Now, we were initially told that these flights weren't going to start until June the 7th. However, according to the information at the start of the information I seen yesterday, it seems the scheduled flights now are going to be starting on the 1st of May, and they're obviously going to run through until the end of October. Now, there will be initially 2 flights a week, every Monday and Saturday, to Zakynthos from Luton. So let's hope there's no negative developments. That will mean that the company will then again change its program. So the good thing is it was going to start things earlier. So May the 1st, again, people keep asking, when's the season going to start? When the season's going to start? I think, to be honest, we don't know when the season's going to start. But at least the airlines, because it hinges on them, at least EasyJet is now saying flights from Luton starting on the 1st of May. So again, we shall wait and see how that plays out. Also as well, Ryanair, they also said yesterday that Ryanair has announced a new route to Zakynthos, not from the UK. Please, Ryanair, get a flight in from the UK, but I think there's a gentleman's agreement between Ryanair and EasyJet on that. But anyway, Ryanair said that they've announced a new flight to Zakynthos from Budapest. So more flights from Budapest to Zakynthos, as well as Corfu and also Hania in Crete. And also those flights are from Budapest as well with Ryanair. Now, the flights from Zakynthos will operate twice a week. From Corfu, they're also going to have initially a twice a week with an additional flight as the season moves forward. And Hania, again, they're going to get an additional flight on top of 3 flights a week that they have already programmed in. But these flights will be from the 1st of July 2021. In addition, if you Santorini, they're also going to get flights from the 6th of July from Krakow. And if you ever want to go visit a beautiful city, go and visit Krakow. It's a beautiful place in Poland. Jane and I were there and absolutely loved it. Anyway, reservations are open at the moment with the option of free booking, and any changes for travellers' bookings will be honoured by Ryanair. That's what they're saying, and that is up until the 31st of March. So that'll be interesting to see Ryanair getting a little bit more of a show here in Zakynthos. Anyway, that's it for the news at the moment. I'm just going to quickly look through the comments that are coming in. Andrew the Fridge Watkins, lovely to see you here, fella. Emma Marku is watching as well. Nice to have you. Dave Matthews says, good morning from an Arctic Brise. I've been hearing the weather forecast there has been absolutely freezing at the moment. And I've had some lovely pictures as well from the weather of that area. Anyway, Emma Marku says, good morning, Ginge. Absolutely freezing here in Essex. A roll on spring. Well, to be honest, it's like spring here at the moment. Jane and I, we went for a walk on Sunday afternoon as part of our exercise regime, and I think nature is at a loss at where it's supposed to be at the moment. 1 minute we're chucking it down with thunder, lightning and heavy rain, and the next minute we got bright sunshine. We got the irises out that are not supposed to be out till spring. I've even seen birds flying about, little small birds like sparrows and things like that, who again, they should all be in bed at the moment before getting ready for, you know, the spring. But again, it is in some ways a bit like spring at the moment, and we're still technically in winter. Anyway, Patsy Ann Dobson says, good morning, Ginge, from a freezing Margate. Oh, Margate. I love Margate. What a great place Margate is. What's it like there at the moment? It must be really tough for people running bars and that in that location again with everything. And I'm not sure, you're in lockdown obviously in the UK as well, so I'm not sure how Margate's getting on. Sam Curtis in Brighton is watching. Nice to see you, Sam. Also, Christine Coldwell is watching as well in Leighton Buzzard. Nice to have you tuning in, my lovely. Bernadette Berwick is watching as well. Hilary Rogers is watching as well. Thank you, Hilary. Julian Assel is watching. Bob Cave is watching as well. Good morning, Ginge. Another bitterly cold day here in Oxfordshire, but very sunny. There you go. Bless you. Dave Matthews again says, bless you, Ginge. Delia Cassetti says, is watching. Nice to have you looking in, Delia, checking up on what's going on. Also, Christos, my old mate from Magdalena, is looking in as well. I hope you're having a good winter, buddy. Lyndon is also watching as well. Robin, say good morning from a bitly cold. I think I've done that one already. Morning, Robin. Oh, they're talking to each other. All right, they're Bob Cave and Dave Matthews are having a chat with each other. Bless them. Bob Cave says, well done, Ginge. Bless you, bro. Graham Bint is also watching as well. Nice to see you. Ian Law is watching as well. Lovely to have you tuned in. Rackridge Buddy as well. Hilary Rogers, sad face. Thank you for that, Hilary. Paula Carterton is watching as well. Keith Jean Bolton is watching as well. Oh, bless you. Nice to have you looking in, Jean. I hope you're taking care. I'm not sure if you're still in Australia at the moment or whether you're somewhere else, but Jean's husband Pete used to be the original Elvis tribute act here on Zakynthos when I first came here in 2005. Bless him, he's gone to meet the real Elvis quite a while ago, and I remember Jean married one of the Searchers. Bless her, she's done all right for herself. Anyway, lovely to have you looking in, Jean, and checking up on how things are here. All right. John Mims is also watching. Nice to have you. Amanda Gregory is watching after yesterday and the thoroughly watching that last night. I thought, oh my God. When you said you've been struck by lightning, you were joking. She was a bit upset because all her husband Alan could think about was the fuse box blew. Luckily, it was just the fuse box that blew and it wasn't you. But that was a spectacular. I will put that in my show this afternoon so people can see that when I broadcast. Anyway, Chris Baxter's tuning in. Thank you, mate. I won't go there, Chris, because I'll just get emotional, mate. And thank you once again, all right? And anyway, Amanda Gregor says, morning, Ginger. After shocking stormy weather last night, we have sunshine with clouds and a cold breeze. Anyway, thank you for that. I was looking forward to your little ray of sunshine with the weather forecast this morning. Delia Gazzetti is also watching. Emma Coleman's watching. Tom Mafu is watching. Dave Lowry is watching. Pedro Wilson, Raffridge Bunny is looking in. Patrick over there, Dennis Patrick over there in Cyprus is tuning in. Nice to see you, fella. Also, Rosewood is tuning in as well. Jill, Jeff Steele is watching. Andy Owen is watching as well. Bless you. But I'm going to... Heather Ash is watching. Tony Ardley is watching. I'm going to quickly see if anybody's got any comments. But anyway, thank you for those people tuning in at the moment. I don't want to keep rattling on because I don't want to be boring, all right? Just to remind you, yesterday I put up the Northern Soul show number 2. That's up online on Mixcloud. Thank you for the comments about the Northern Soul music. I have already made my show for Friday night for the Dance Anthem show, and I've already had positive feedback from beatsradio.co.uk from Ben Warner. He says, cracking show, mate. Really looking forward to that being played out on Friday night. And don't forget, today I'm broadcasting here from Zakynthos. It's 5 o'clock your time in the UK. It's 3 o'clock, 3 till 5 UK time, a live show. I've also forgotten that it's getting close to Valentine's Day, but I'm going to do a Valentine's Day special on Friday on my second live broadcast of the week. But I'm going to do a normal show for Wednesday. I'm going to pop a little bit in for Sharon and also for Kev and a little tune for Matthew as well. So once again, join me this afternoon, 3 till 5. Any requests, any dedications, just stick them in the comments below. I've already had a few in from some people. The more the merrier. It just makes the show more interesting. The last show's charted really well. I can't remember the numbers, but it's done very well in the reggae chart, very well in the pop chart, which again is great that Mixcloud seems for some reason to really like the shows that are being produced. And don't forget, this afternoon show will go out live with the pictures, with the music, get stored as audio on Mixcloud, and then I will put a Dropbox up so you can actually then download the show, watch it with the pictures without the buffering, as sometimes we have problems with the internet connection. That's why I can't do live broadcasts to the radio station, because the link is not reliable enough for them to keep a smooth show and a smooth thing going. So I have to record everything, which in some ways is great because I can hang around the chat room and just chat to people while the show's going out. So just remember that. I might be in the chat room, but I can't change the music because it's already recorded. But the show this afternoon, come and join me, chat away, and I will play your requests, whatever you ask for. And it always makes the show very interesting as to which direction it's going to go and where it'll be. Right. That's it from me. I've just had a message from Belgium. Somebody's trucking in Belgium at the moment. I don't know who that is. Bob, who is it? Heather Nash, looking forward to your show this afternoon. Morning, Ginge, and sunny 8 degrees Belgium. Who's that? Oh, that's Robert Nargaski, another good Raffridge buddy. What are you doing in Belgium, mate? Oh, you're trucking, aren't you? You're driving. He's driven over from Andover. And I've got to say something quickly about that. There's been a lot of misinformation over Brexit, all right, and truckers been able to get across. The BBC have been terrible for this, painting a really bad picture of the Dover crossing. It's bullshit, all right? Call you out now, BBC. Some of the reporting is absolutely ludicrous. People in the local area are telling me, no problems, Ginge. We can drive across. Yeah, a little bit more paperwork to do, but we can get in and out without any trouble whatsoever. So as far as we're concerned, it's people hyping up, the Remainers hyping up, staying. But the reality is, on the ground, we're still able to do a job. We're still able to get from A to B without too much trouble. Yes, we've got to present a little bit more paperwork, but we're the only ones having to present the paperwork. The people, when they come back, don't have to present anything. So how does that work then, EU? You're losing your power, EU. people have got over it and said, you know what, it's time to leave. And I tell you what, if Greece had their choice, I think a lot of Greeks would be saying the same. The EU experiment is coming rapidly to an end. But anyway, and I like that. And he's just said to me, Robert has said, yeah, bullshit, mate. We can get to and from the continent without any trouble whatsoever. We just got to fill a few more bits of paper in. But other than that, yeah, we're able to cross. Anyway, thanks for that. And once again, have a safe day, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. I'll see you soon. You take care. Ta-ra. Bye-bye.